Hey there, and welcome back to Expert Challenges, an educational monster train series where we get a divine victory on every expert challenge. Or try, at least. We're currently on the final stretch. I've been kind of doing this little bit of a countdown ever since we got to the final five because they all came with the DLC, and we're really close. I mean, we just did Make It Count, which this one I don't actually think is that bad as long as you play into the strengths of a champion. They can take advantage of it. We picked Windleton with that in order to use Strangler to prevent anything from getting to our pyre, which meant that the pyre being fragile never mattered. It's a very consistent way of approaching this, more consistent than other clan combos. We had secondary Wormkin, and ultimately it was just kind of a weird spike synergy in my opener, and then there was a Windleton, obviously with Strangler, and I believe it was Thornlord as it suited out in the end. We did find the Quick Tome, but we had Hef's Consolation into a Keeper of Heckos, which we then put with a Shard Soul Carver infusion to tank. And that worked pretty effectively. It's a great example of that same run. If I didn't have Windleton, you could have also done a Keeper of Echoes self-infused, right? One space, dupe it, and then have two of them buffing Windleton. And that I think would have also been fine. The only major risk involved is the ability to actually play out all of your keepers, because then if any of them fall behind, or if you're too slow, you would fall behind and lose. I opted instead for just a very strong face tank front line of 2 space with the Shard Soul Carver infusion in order to push past and let Windleton essentially solo carry. And it worked fine. There was no real concern there. We ultimately ended up with a lot of card draw. -1 holdover focus growth in there, some spell chain holdover, echo transfer for some damage scaling. That with an eventual Karuska bog slime hit, and this honestly went kind of out of control. We're moving on now to the hero we need. This is a deceptively difficult expert challenge, I think. The description is your champion is amazing, your spells not so much. I pretty universally think that Arduous Arcana spells cost +1 Ember is one of the worst modifiers in Monster Train. It is obviously negative, but it is so grotesquely negative that it very single-handedly negates a vast majority of strategies in the game. This makes so many plans just not work, okay? And your upside here is that you start with Mark of a Champion and Mark of an Exile. This makes you do 50% more damage, 50% more max health on your champion. Now, given that champions usually aren't that impactful or aren't doing their impact via attacking themselves, a great example would be like Firelight Fade, right? Firelight Fade's very strong, of course, except for the fact that she's not really attacking, she's dying repeatedly. And you could certainly use this with Eternal Flame, but that's about it. That's really your only option there. So, I mean, I guess you could also use it with Spike's Fade and try to solo carry. It's maybe not that bad in her case, but regardless, you need to be able to reform her unless you have very high sort of, I'm trying to think of examples. Adaptive mutation is a great example of something that would keep her alive without the need for revives, or armor stacking from Welder Helper, things like that. So if you have those options, sure, but those are very specific runs. They're hard to assemble generally. And in this case, I'm trying to give you the highest statistical chance of success from playing this run. So I'm not going to try to high roll. Obviously, sometimes that will happen, but still, I'm not planning around it. My normal suggestion here is actually 2 champions. First champion suggestion is Rector. The nice thing about Rector is that Rector, 1, comes with Dregs. Dregs don't get the debuff from Arduous Arcana, so that makes them actually still playable. And 2, Rector is able to capitalize on them via Harvest or at least some target for Dark Calling, things like that. And then the most important thing, if you end up on the Burnout Rector line, he can very comfortably use both the marks that you get. So you have a lot of options here. And then you basically play as much of a normal Rector run as you can. You know, sometimes it's going to be Dark Calling, sometimes it'll be Burnout. You'll figure it out, right? My other suggestion, you're not going to be surprised by this, is Chartel Queen. Now, while she doesn't use the marks as quite as effectively. Still, she has 80 health on Imperialist, which makes her 120. That's really tanky, actually, for a 2-spacer. She can face tank pretty well with that. She also starts with Queen Zimplings, which she capitalizes on, obviously, very effectively. And this opens up some ridiculous imp synergies. You end up on things like Transcend Imp with Endless and a Queen Zimpling infusion. It solos the run, you don't even need to worry about your spells. I tend to prefer this sort of an option. I think I'm leaning towards Imperialist, or rather just Shardtail Queen in general. I think Rector is fairly comfortable, but you do have to rely on your spells a little bit. Your secondary clan does matter. Things like Root Seeds you're going to take, right? If you're going to go this route, you're going to do Rector plus Exile Awoken, because Exile Awoken has the best units for Dark Calling and simultaneously very good infusions for anything in Melting if you end up on that path, and then Root Seeds is universally good. Root Seed's a little costly. I think you can win them with this still, right? You're going to put some -1/-1s, maybe a -2 in a Root Seeds or something, go completely off the chain, and do your best. And it probably wins pretty okay. You can play a normal Dark Calling run or something, it's fine. However, I do really like the Shardtail Queen angle, right? The Shardtail Queen is very cozy, in my opinion. And you could actually do it with Melting as well. I don't think you'd want to use Dregs. I think you'd want the primitive molds, right? Burnout 1 is a very nice addition to the repertoire of Shardtail Queen. If you don't end up on Imperialist, you get Imp Parade, for instance. You could still run an Endless Imp. It just burns out in 1, right? It still works. So, at least if you get that upgrade. So, pretty good stuff overall. This is kind of the way I'm leaning. So, I think we will do that. And, yeah. Not much else really to add for this expert challenge. Only 2 modifiers. They're both fairly impactful, or at least the negative one is. The positive one is fine. And yeah, I think we can go from there. So as always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's see if we can put, was this number 24? Yeah, let's see if we can put number 24 down. Let's go. All right, here we are. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing just peachy. Had a very fun, sort of cool breakfast, actually. I don't know why I'm talking about this. There's like this impossible meat that exists in the universe, and I think it's very cool because it kind of tastes like meat. Like it's very convincing, but there's always, if you're very keen on it, there's like a little bit of a texture difference that you can notice, and you're like, that's not quite meat. In a lot of cases, though, it's better, though, in my opinion. And this like sausage biscuit thing I had is, in my opinion, better. I actually think that it just tastes better than a normal sausage biscuit. And it's kind of just odd. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. I don't know, fun. Anyway, I had a nice breakfast. Hopefully you have nice meals too, I guess. Why not? So, anyway, here we are. As before, we are playing Exile Hellhorned, Exile Melting. A very good clan combo, in my opinion. We are facing Plating Seal Daedalus, Spell Shield Fell, and Patient Seraph. We have a good opener, though, if we get Imperialist. I'm happy with this. We're starting with Welder Helper. An Imp. Just having an Imp in your opener that's a common is great. Love that. Purifying Cleanse. Okay, it's at least playable, right? Costs 1. Fine. And then Branding Right. This is going to cost 3, which is pretty unlikely for me to use, but, you know, maybe it's playable sometimes, right? Of course, have primitive molds in our deck as well because we have opted for that option. So we'll see what we can get. Yeah, of course, my true form in Arduous Arcana. Here we go. And let's look ahead and see what we get. Temples today are 2, 4, 5, and 7. 4 temples, seems good. Dupe on 8 is on magic side. Nothing special here. Sure. There is a money trinket shop on 7, pretty decent. Temple in the middle. Competes with a very good steel shop. This is usually the part of the run where you're hunting for Endless on a Transcend Imp or something. We'll see what we have. If we have one, of course, we'll look for it, but we'll see. Steel Shop and Magic Shop on 6. Magic Shop's superior here. Magic Shops in general are not going to be that great. It's unlikely I invest too heavily in my spells. I'm probably not drafting very many. I'll take only the critical ones. The big thing you want to watch out for here is we didn't get Diligent, which is great. So we can hopefully rely on some kind of an imp line here and not have to worry about our spells very much, but you never know. Let's see, otherwise Magic and Steel on 6. 6 has the good Magic Shop with money and Vortex there as well. We're happy to have that. 5 has Random Hell Vent with a Horde, okay. Competing with a Magic Shop that has a Caverns. No removals on 5, no Steel Shop on 5, bit of a bummer. No worries though, it's fine. Steel Shop Hellhorned Banner on 4, Magic Shop Vortex on 4 as well. Pretty decent both sides, depending on what you need. And then early game we have a bit of a bummer, double Remnant Banners in the path of my Steel Shop on 2, which if I end up on Imperialist is where I go because of the Endless opportunity. The Hellhorn banner, only option we have there is on a magic side on 2, which is low impact in my opinion. So we'll see. You usually want to play with the Hellhorn side if you can here, but you're not forced to, right? We could do something else. Unbroken Horn Memorial Fund. Memorial Fund is going to find guaranteed value here. Unbroken Horn will be okay, but we're going to be spending a lot of Ember on our spells. I don't know how much we'll save. Nice thing about it is if we see a Pyre Chomper or something, but I think it's Memorial Fund here. I think it'll be more impactful. We end up on Imperialist, which is honestly, in my opinion, the right choice. It's what you want. It gets 80 health, which lets it do 120. Also, it plays nice with Endless. I'm a fan. I'm going to take the Horde here. Golden Vault, possible. I have Golden Vault Memorial Fund as an option, which is pretty decent. Worn Grindstone, no thanks. Scorching Restraints, also acceptable. Start with some Rage. I kind of like the Golden Vault, but I am worried that I'm going to leak. We'll get some money back, right? I have Reforms and Queen Zemplings. I think I take this Golden Vault because the other ones are fairly low impact. This is risky, but the Memorial Fund makes this feel plausible. So we'll try. Aggressive Amulet, sure. We're going to click it. I do want to try to get this unit draft, absolutely. An abysmal opening hand. Triple Reforms. Just completely unplayable. Sure, I guess. We'll just play it out and hope for the best. Literally, none of my other cards are worthwhile, so awesome. Alright, how do I want to approach this? I'm thinking I can never access the collector here because branding rate is too expensive, so I can't ping it in the back. It's really quite tragic. I don't have much else to add here. I think I'm going to go Queen Zimpling sacrificially up top, just so I get it killed and in the pool. I'm going to put the Train Steward in front. Main thing is Queen is actually pretty formidable here, so I would like Queen to get that shot, right? If possible. Yeah, sure, Welder Helper can launch in. I think that's good. We can actually play it in front and do pretty well here. I think we are going to reform a random imp. I could throw that imp. I am going to just play the Welder Helper in front here. It's probably the way to go, yeah? Which should kill the floor. It does. Good job. Cool. And I'm going to let the Queen Zimpling burn out downstairs. I'm doing this so that I have, you know, a couple imps as an option here. Alright, fine. Well, it's okay, because my plan here is to Welder Helper in front, upstairs. We drew it at least, which should clear the floor. It totally does. Amazing. I am playing it like this so that it takes all these hits. We could be putting the armor into the floor, but because of the aggressive amulet, we're not getting that many choices. An interesting moment where I could branding right in the back. Huh. It's the only... I mean, if I see an imp, I can access it too, which is pretty likely. I'm going to click the primitive mold. A bit of a gamble here. Alright, good. We at least get a Welder Helper. I like this because I can generate armor for my floor. Sure, good. Great, fine. Okay, play the primitive mold. It's not the imp we wanted. But if I throw the imp, I think this does help. We come pretty darn close, and it's honestly just going to have to be good enough. We lose, what is it, 25 gold here, which is a bummer, but it's going to have to do. Okay, Monster Train, we do it. Vent is great. Vent is great because it's not affected by Arduous Arcana, and I think that's a good thing to have. Fortify is terrible, Hidden Passage not as effective. We'll take the Vent, at least, to have something, right? Hallowed Drippings. Do I take the draft? Almost certainly, right? We grab the draft, we're seeing Remnant Banners, probably. You never know what you could find. It could be a bounty stalker or something, right? So, sure. Lady of the House is probably the angle here. It takes the draft well. Could be a vector for some burnout options. We can keep it alive, and then it can take rage decently. We haven't seen rage, so that's a bit of a bummer, right? We haven't seen rage. I should take the lady all the same. It's a good unit. We'll grab it. I'm gonna go for Endless. Oh, man, we don't have a very good steel shop, though. I only have 115 money. 125 if I sell it. I can't even re-roll. If I see a multi-strike, it's not bad. What if I go right? If we go right, we could take a holdover. We have a vent, right? It's fine. It's true. Hellhorned Banner is potentially superior in a lot of ways. Maybe. It's not a guarantee. -1s are okay at best. I think I still go left, and because there's two top-level things we could see that are decent. Both multi-strike and endless, which is a 50% chance. The Remnant Banner is unlikely to be a winner, but it's better than the Magic Shop, which is pretty much exclusively holdover here. Even -1s I'm not really inclined to grab. Sure, we'll go left, hope for the best. Yo, Endless! Absolutely, sign me up. Endless is incredible. Wickless Tycoon, kind of funny. Actually not terrible, but I don't want him. Now, unfortunately, because of the cost of this Endless, I cannot also purchase the Burnout 1 on it, but I also don't really need it, right? Alright, we at least have this, which is good. Spell Chain, Intrinsic, both of these are not particularly impressive. I want to save the infusion on the Welder Helper in case it ends up being Rage Imp, right? Otherwise, I might self-infuse. The problem with self-infusing is we have no damage scaling whatsoever. So if I do an infusion here, it might be the Draft Infusion, which is decent at best. Yeah, I would consider that decent at best. Not amazing, but fine. Okay. I am banking on seeing something that says Rage in this next combat, or I am going to be in a bit of a dicey situation just from offensive scaling. We could realistically pivot into Imp Parade if we see it. Look for Rage Imps that way, it's an option. Take space and then play both Imps. I think we chill on shards here. I'm trying to think what a better infusion than Draft is here, but my big question mark is just, do I have the survivability? Right? Or do I have the offensive scaling? What else could this be, right? What could I take instead? I mean, I guess they could show me Paraffin Enforcer, right? If we see a Paraffin Enforcer, suddenly I have Rage and I feel okay about it. Yeah, so we should wait. We have the draft, we should wait. There is a Remnant Banner coming up. I think we chill. Okay. It's easy to go ham here and cut yourself off from important lines. This Mark of Invasion should be essentially free. I hope. I think. Give me an Imp in my top. Or don't. You know, there's also that. So this is now a negative trade for me. Bummer. Wow. Alright. No imps in the top. Okay. It is what it is, I suppose. There's really no reason to put in... Yeah, there's no reason to do anything else here. I trade. I actually don't have enough money here, which is funny. Alright, we can play an imp upstairs at least, which is good. And then I can vent middle, which does connect with the collector incredibly. Okay, that's pretty decent. I didn't play a Purifying Cleanse there, for the record. That's okay. Alright, let's do Welder Helper here. Yes, I don't need to because it's burning out, but this will eventually hold over in a meaningful capacity. Queen's Impling mid-floor might as well, and then send it. Okay. Reform. Hey, we got the lady. It's incredible news. Let's play the Welder Helper first. Then we can drop in the lady here. Reasonable. I think this wins the combat, which is good. I'm a fan of that. We just play stuff out. We'll play a primitive mold here. The armor is valuable, so I don't mind it. Sure, every unit I get killed is valuable. I really should be doing that more often. I think I've been holding off a little bit. We do clear the floor, though. The burnout extends. It's good. We throw it. It's fine. I guess there's probably a couple deaths I didn't take. The main reason I didn't sacrifice units terribly like those train stewards in the beginning is because I was trying to cultivate my reform pool so I'd have an imp more accessible. I didn't explain that, but that is what I was doing. So, no rage. Incredible news. Well, that's terrible. Okay. I'm not going to take the Molting Imp because I don't need it. I can just throw with Queen and self-infuse the Welder Helper. Wow, not a single rage. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to click Whiplash. It's not good, but it maybe does damage. It says damage on it, so I'm going to click it. You can't stop me. And I'm going to go to the right because I wish to look at this Remnant banner. Paraffin Enforcer helps this run considerably. We don't see it. Wickless Tycoon, Lady the Reformed. We sell it. I'm going to look at this Horde. Combustible Wax, huh? Combustible Wax is really cool because it lets you do the other direction here, right? If I do see a Paraffin Enforcer, it lets me go Paraffin Enforcer into Draft for a high amount of scaling. I could go Advanced Prototype. That is technically a multi-strike. I don't think I need that to survive this upcoming combat. I think I'm going to go with Combustible Wax here, given where my deck is at. Before this dupe, we're going to take the cave. Yeah, sure, I'll build a card, why not? Sap is pretty strong for Relentless. I think we'll have an okay amount of offense anyway, though, right? But also this order means we're not going to see the rage. I could see, like, armor and a +10, though. Let's take the defensive option. Ah, we whiff. Alright, leave it be. Armor and then what? Gold? It's probably good. Ugh, I really hate that. I'm gonna have to take Ember, aren't I? It's still worth it to grab this for money, especially when I have the Golden Vault. It's fine. I still take it. I'm bummed, but it's fine. The dupe here is pretty bad. Like, truly, I have nothing good in this run, other than, I guess, this Old Magic, but I don't really want another copy of a 2-cost Old Magic. What a terrible dupe. I was hoping for, I don't know, literally anything, but I guess I could make another Welder Helper. The only advantage to this is that I'm going to make another Old Magic. This at least has scaling built into it. This is a pretty nasty opener, admittedly. I think we're not very strong right now, thanks to Arduous Arcana hurting a lot of our stuff. I haven't hit a good unit. Having a bad unit at the same time that you have a very kind of risky expert challenge is a big problem, in my opinion. So there's that. Nope, don't click that. Let's go armor. I would like 20 gold. Sure. Alright, we see a Welder Helper. That's at least something. And then I can click the Purifying Cleanse here, and that's at least something. We're at least throwing imps, which is valuable, right? It's meaningfully useful. Play the armor, throw it out. Sure, I might as well play some Queen Zimplings mid-floor. I think that's worth it. She throws, it's good. This is good because it gives me more money, which I appreciate. Welder Helper in, I think we clear the floor, it's good. I should sack units right now, I think. True, just sack units. Should be okay. I think we win this Relentless just from playing Welder Helper and then stuff like Whiplash here. I do sadly take some damage here to my health because of that backline unit, but it will have to do. And then what, we play a bunch of garbage out and hope for the best? Sure, seems okay. We're making a lot of cash back, which I do appreciate, I'll simply say. The armor is helpful here. We very well might be losing. We somehow win, just off the back of a ridiculous amount of burnout stacks and raw damage, which is okay. We're actually ahead on money here in kind of an interesting turn, so that's good. One Horn's Tome for 6 Ember. Seems good. Impelate is probably a necessary card to grab, as sad as I am to take it. So there's that. We see Paraffin Enforcer. We have Scaling. Yes, take him. Thank you. I need to take Ember because this run is way too expensive. Absolutely horrifically expensive. Yes, let's take this Ember right now. This is the tax of Arduous Arcana. We're going to go left because I want to look at the Steel Shop. Multi-Strike would be sick, but most importantly, like a plus 25 would be good too. Our goal is basically to put Paraffin Enforcer into Draft and pop off, right? And make 2 of them, and then they go crazy, and we keep them alive with self-infused Welder Helper. That's the plan. Cool, let's do it. Make it so is the aim. Spell Chain, Tenon Piercing, some of that stuff's good. Rail Beater. I don't think we don't need to change anything here. Rail Beater is a pretty decent option, but I don't need to change anything here. We'll sell it. Moving on. Quick is tempting, but I think the right answer is just going to be a plus 25 there or something. Yeah, I'll take a plus 25 on the Draft. I didn't see the multi-strike, but it's not the end of the world, right? There is an Endless here. It's too bad I didn't have a Transcend him, but, you know. Imperialist 2, I guess so. I'm not taking Royalty. I'm going to do the Infusion. I need to do damage, right? So, I mean, it's going to be the Paraffin Enforcer Infusion here, hands down. It's good. Burnout 6 on this little friend is pretty convincing. We extend Burnout in a big way. It's good. Great. Fine. Okay. Tenon Piercing, maybe on the Impelate, is pretty decent. Kills a frontline enemy. I don't hate it. I'm going to be doing double infusions, though, and none of these spells are very high impact. There's not another Endless I care about, right? No, there's not. I'm actually okay keeping the lady because she's functional, right? She does something. I still, you know, in all things said, despite the fact that my spells are so grotesquely expensive, I still think that Train Stewards are the worst cards in my deck. Because they do very little. Even if they are units and die, they're just really hard to justify. With 230, I think we're okay. I'm going to go to this magic shop coming up. Although, actually, it should be the Hellvent. It's a bummer I didn't get a multi-strike here. The Hellvent could be on what? What could I Hellvent instead? It's not a very good Hellvent, actually. We'll go to the magic shop, I think. We're going to move on. We're going to just kind of play it cool here, and I think that's going to be correct. We'll ramp, no questions. Heaven Seal is terrifying. Only 55 shards. Interesting, interesting. Can I play bottom floor? Not with Heaven Seal on. I think we turn this off and we let this go as is. There are some draws that make this feasible, but I think we should be prepared for the worst. I'm going to drop in the lady. We're going to play bottom floor, and I'm going to throw the Queen Zimpling at this. And I will put a Train Steward middle to catch a Rogue Collector. Okay, we got a Rogue Collector. Incredible news. Now, alright, we have Welder Helper in action. This does get kind of wasted, but that's okay. I can play the old magic here, which is correct. We get the Collector, which is awesome. Okay, it's fine. I guess I can just keep playing the Welder Helper here. We can even heal up front, and it's not that bad, actually. It's kind of a weird situation. Play a Queen Zimpling middle, I think, to get that kill. I could also just take money instead. Let this guy walk, maybe. I can kill him later. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. What's my reform pool? Queen Zimpling. Cool. Let's click that. And then burn it out upstairs, and that will do, I think. I kind of don't want this welder helper to give armor like that. It's not bad, but it's not what I want. I want to get this Paraffin Enforcer in, though he's going to be so late in the game. Don't love that. 2 turns. We'll finally see the draft. The problem is I'm not going to have armor on the right unit. I still think we play him, right? I don't think it's worth it to mess around, really. Okay, fine. I could put the draft upstairs, actually. And it does pretty decent there. Interesting. I don't love the reform options on it, right? I feel like we have very unfortunate... How do I feel about it? I do think I have to pretty much play Draft Purifying Cleanse downstairs, or we are going to die. Is there a better way of doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we have to play Paraffin Enforcer downstairs, and I think there's really... it's not even close. I have to eat some damage here, and then I think... I like this damage buff in the back. That's pretty good. I'd love to have played the Purifying Cleanse and it. I think the Purifying Cleanse is probably worth more here. Welder Helper upstairs. There's no reason to play him, right? Let it go, I think. We take 2 hits. Okay, and then we can vent downstairs, which comes really close to getting the kill, and we are pretty decently happy about that, I suppose. Alright, it's not impossible to win from here. It's pretty close to impossible to win from here. What a tragedy this is. You play a welder helper, we at least do some damage. Ah, alright, fine. If I can keep him... Look. If I can keep him from... Wait a second. I actually think if I can get 1 round, I can do this. I was going to say I could take 4 hits on Golden Bolt and kill him, right? But... I don't think I can get away with old magic here. He only gets 1 swing in, which is not enough. If I play the welder helper in front, he gets only 1 swing in, but I could also put the... Yeah, check this. Wait, I can put the Queen Zimpling down, and it works, right? 18, 18, 18, 18, and we get the kill. Ha-ha! Got him! Earned some money back, too. Wow, alright, dicey. Very dicey. Impressive battering ram, March of Shields, no thanks. Okay, we made it though. Alright, go team. I'm going to click on Wax and Spike because it boosts damage and applies burnout, and it's a big number. 7 burnout is a lot, and it means that I could actually comfortably put burnout onto someone like the Queen and not feel like I'm killing my floor. So let's click that. Also, it doesn't get punished by Arduous Arcana, so that's good. Magic Shop? Maybe? I guess. Not a good dupe is the problem. We don't have good dupes. Yeah, let's go right. Plus 30 intrinsic. None of those are great, although I guess Vent makes it pretty decent. Yeah, alright. The holdover makes Vent pretty good, actually. Holdover Vent. The big advantage is it does mean that enemies don't attack the Queen that often. which is pretty cool. I'll do it, actually. I think it's worth it. Hold over on vent, and then we put that plus 30 in it. And that's pretty good, right? Pretty good. We're going to do our self-infused imp here because it's really strong. Just straight up, very good. Armor to everyone. Great work. Let's look at the caverns now. Heartstone, huh? Blood for blood is tempting. When you get kills, the pirate gets kills, the pirate gets healed. Heartstone is honestly not bad. You just put that into your imp, and your imp becomes super tank. Your imp is already super tank, actually. Unironically, the imp is extremely effective at staying alive. This plus 25 is not very good. I do have purifying cleanses, so the healing is not necessarily going to be good to take Petrified Heart. Though it does have fun interactions with the marks on the queen. She gets an extra, what, like 5 health from it? So that's neat, I suppose. Could give everything 10 health. What's the least punishing here? I think putting a Heartstone into the Welder Helper is a totally fine option, because Burnout 1 is never a choice here. This means that on really, really, really bad turns, I can just face tank with this guy, right? And he can take just a truckload of health and damage, which is pretty cool. Yeah, sure. One thing I'll say, though, also, is that it means that he only has 11 health right now, which means that at, let's see, what, like 105 shards, he dies on top floor Divinity to sweep, so you might as well give him health. Sure, this seems fine. I'm going to give him 25, and we're going to move on from there. That's okay. It's not a great overstack, but it's fine. I'm going to put -1/-1 into Wicklash, I think, because that's probably my most important card. 20 consume. I don't really know what to do with that. I'm going to skip that, I think, right? I could do it on Purifying Cleanse, but why? I like that card. Sure. Double stack? There's an option for you. I don't think any of these really deserve it. 4. Ember. Branding Right. No. This -1 just goes back into Wicklash. -1/-1 seems fine there. I want to save some money. I'm going to this next steel shop. I would like to hunt a multi-strike. This magic shop is not it here. I could 20... I still have the option to 20 consume Purifying Cleanse, make it decent. My burnout is pretty good. Alright, sure. I'll do it to one of them. You've convinced me, game. Did the infusion. I do not think the intrinsic is the play. Alright. I need card draw. And I need removals. I need to draw my stupid Paraffin Enforcer infused draft faster. Aggressive Amulet is dangerous, but also totally fine because I have the vent here. So that doesn't bother me at all. Just play top floor here, it's fine. I'll put the imp down first to avoid Ember Drain because I can. I'm not playing the lady on that floor here. I'm going to get her shot. I'm going to save the Wax and Spike, I think. I could just sack units for money. A super viable option here. I will. Sure, why not? Fine. Just sack for money, it's okay. How can I approach this and actually get the kill I want, huh? What's in here? Queen Zimpling would be a good hit. If I hit the Queen Zimpling, I think we get it, right? Alright, cool. So the neat thing about this is I go... How do I approach this? I go Queen Zimpling. Yes. Oh, interesting. I have to play another Queen Zimpling in front here? Yeah, alright, we did it. Go team, incredible work. I guess I play the Wicklash on the lady because she's the best use for it, sure. And then I suppose I'll sack another unit for money, or whatever. Fine, we got the Collector. Amazing, it's something. Okay, what a good day. We're going to play the draft upstairs. Now, I'm not going to let this attack come in quite yet. That's just stupid. It would be dumb of me. I guess I could face tank it. The vent middle is probably... I'm just worried because we have a big heavy, and mid-floor is looking nasty here. Mid-floor is looking quite nasty. Yeah, let's vent middle, actually, if I'm being real with you. I think that lets us swing in. We already cleared top floor. Even if it's worth 31 health, I think it's correct. We'll draw the imp eventually, right? Armor is your friend, although I think I might have to impolate here. We come pretty darn close to getting this kill, right? I don't have an imp in hand. If I hit an imp, we throw the imp, and this looks pretty good. What an interesting challenge. I think we're guaranteed to get it if I click the impolate, so I'm going to do that. We click the impolate, and then we can vent. If I vent, he goes 49. I take 12. The problem if I play the train steward here is he gets armor. How concerned am I? I'm not actually concerned about this next floor, so let's shoot him. Yeah, let's shoot him and get this kill. I think that's okay. We get some rage, it's okay, sure. We just vent this floor and it's fine. Old magic, sure. I will primitive mold back something. And then what am I doing there? I haven't seen my stupid imp until I'm just like this moment, so really only so much can be said. I am going to click the imp so it gets blasted though, that seems good, and then I will just simply vent here and it gets shot and that's okay. I need my armor imp, please, thank you. Monster train, very cool. Armor imp. Go. Activate. Form of don't be bad. Vent kills this, right? It totally does. Let's burn out 6 up front. This seems more effective than the branding right here, because I'm going to click that. Yeah, I'm going to click the... Wow, let's kill this imp actually first. Great. Then we send this, and we should take only the 12. I have at least a couple turns where I can generate armor. It'll have to do, I think. I'm going to go ahead and vent bottom. Alright, man. I don't know what to tell you. We have Imp. Imp takes 42 up front, and that's pretty solid if I play it in front. Otherwise, it only does the 20. It generates 30 armor, 56 on itself. It face tanks a whole round, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to go ahead and click that up front. Pretty good, actually. Armor in the back. Man, really? The queen burns out. Ugh, I had to play the stupid Waxen Spike on turn 1. Unreal, actually, that this happens this way. Am I dead? Hit the vent. Oh yeah, I'm totally dead. Alright, well we're gonna go ahead and keep spinning this because this stupid challenge is tough. I'm a little bummed I have to do this. I have to big brain play the turn 1 Waxen Spike on the queen, which no one in their right mind would have anticipated that that's correct, but hey, it's Monster Train, I suppose. Alright, we just kind of play everything else the same way and it's fine. Right? You just go clickety, clackety, amazing, we earned money, cool, play everything else out, it's fine. Sure, sure, sure. You do see Paraffin Enforcer here, it's great. We're going to go ahead and extend Burnout somewhere, it's fine. Great, we shoot middle, fine. Alright, we're doing okay. Okay, rest of this gets played out. I did think about this turn harder than I needed to. We just go ahead and impolate here, blow this man up, all good. We then kill him. I'm taking 64. 64 means I, in this instance, can play the Train Steward. And we get the kill. Cool. Actually fine. Ah, I get it, because she's getting rage now. I see. I see, I see. Old magic, vent anyway, it's fine. We at long last see the Welder Helper in action. Very cool. I click the Purifying Cleanse up front. We vent. It's cool. Now, unfortunately, in this instance, I have opted to not extend the burnout of your boy in back. Interesting. Interesting. Is that an obvious mistake here now? Ugh, he burns out now. Oh my god, the burnout juggling is such a garbage setup. Alright, forgive me on this. I should have thought about that for more than 10 seconds, but... Alright, same thing, same thing, same thing. Extend burnout, it's fine. The only change here is I need to put that first burnout I see upstairs here, and then we reform. Yeah, you get the Queen Zimpling, we play it in front, we still get middle floor. Alright, it's fine. I guess I could shoot the Queen Zimpling upstairs, you might as well. Sure, alright, we get money. Great work. Finally, the Paraffin Enforcer. This is where I messed up. I had to play this stupid Purifying Cleanse in the back, and then we vent middle. Okay, alright, we figured it out. We figured it out. Incredible work. Okay, at long last we have armor. I'll reform. I'll just sack an imp because you might as well. We're gonna shoot it anyway, it's fine. Cool, now here I do take the Purifying Cleanse up front. Then we Welder Helper. We sack the Queen Zimpling. Okay, we figured it out, alright? This is what this should look like. This is 100% how it should be played. Yes, we did it. Amazing. Then we go Welder Helper. Then we put the armor in the front here. And then we vent. Alright, we have it. Good grief. The navigation to get here is truly... And then here, I don't know what I changed, but now suddenly I'm drawing the Wicklash. Kind of ridiculous, huh? It's fine. Put that in the back. It's damage. Armor can go wherever, I suppose. Hey, look, we did it. Ridiculous. What a ridiculous floor. I knew we had it. The narrow path here is just really tight. Really tight on that. Ugh, bummer. Alright, it is the nature of these expert challenges to have to do something like that. Important work is still a net neutral, so we're gonna click that. I'm a fan. Endless. Well, we see the Endless Tome. I don't know if that helped any. I generate enough survivability. I'm not really worried about days here. It's going to be hard to play this thing anyway. I mean, maybe it matters for Patient. It might matter for Patient. I am going to be rallying him a bunch. Alright, I think I'm going to take the Mortal Entrapment. It's going to be really hard to play, but we'll try it. I think it's good. I'm going to go left. I'd love to see a multi-strike or something. If I don't see it, I think I'm giving up on it. Burnout 1. A little late. A third Endless. We've seen enough of these game. It's fine. We don't get it. Alright, I think I'm giving up on the multi-strike at this point. We've done enough. Take Trap Shoot. That helps. We've done as much as I think we reasonably can here. I'm taking the money. I am going to sell a Train Steward because it's nasty and bad. I'm going to sell another one. Maybe? Trinket Shop coming up. Well, that Steel Shop's actually pretty good. I was going to skip because I want to go to the Hellvent on 8, which is Magic Side, but that Steel Shop's pretty decent. Alright. Alright, I won't give up. Fine, you've convinced me. I think we beat Fell, but it really depends on draw order at this point, right? It's just, I need to draw fast. Lady can go chill here. I'm going to play Queen upstairs. I'm going to save my Trap Shoots because I'd like the Dazes into the final boss. I guess I'll throw the imp. There's no reason not to. Alright, sure. Okay. Alright, we're looking for something here. I'm looking for, okay, a good reason I threw the imp is that I can do something like this. And then yeet the imp upstairs and we at least don't leak, which is great. And I can play the old magic and this will have to do. Okay. Big challenge is I'm only drawing 5 cards, so you get at the whims of everything else in this run. I am going to throw... I'm going to play the imp in front because it's a difference of 20, but I'm taking 35. So we just play him in front. Then we old magic and back. I will take the Wicklash here, and I'm just going to straight up vent, I think. I'll leak this man. I'm okay with that. It's okay. I think that 25, 50 gold is okay. Alright, draft drops in. Let's go ahead and play the draft first so he gets the armor gen here. Good. That's fine. We'll play out an imp on middle. I am going to vent. This pushes numbers through. Alright. Incredible. Numbers. We did it. Play Welder Helper. Wow, what a scary floor. It's okay, I guess. Kind of. I could throw a second imp. That's nice. That's pretty good. And then we go vent here. We only take 2 hits, which is not as bad as it could be. I'm reasonably certain we're dead without this golden vault, I actually think is true. We'll look at the primitive mold, see what we roll into. Alright, lady, sure. Go for it, champ. We'll play a second imp here, I think, to throw it, and then I'm going to vent. And we kill everything, I think? Yeah, cool. Alright, it's something. Okay. We're going to go... Welder Helper. Old Magic. Wax and Spike. Vent. Yes. Burnout must be extended upstairs. Fine. Welder Helper, and I don't play the vent? Man, I really would love to draw literally any of my day's cards. Literally any of them. I'm going to instead play a primitive mold and throw a second imp at him. Okay. Alright. Days card, please. You know what? Trap Shoot saves the friggin' day. Trap Shoot literally saves the run. Outrageous. Okay, we managed to do it thanks to Trap Shoot. Good grief. Yeah, this is pretty slow. I'm going to need either once I get the second draft or... Oh, Hallowed Halls. How do I feel about that? I'm actually going to click Dark Deal because it's scaling. We take Draw, please. Thank you. Alright, Draw helps. I do want second... draft. We got one last chance to look, and this is too strong of a steel shot to skip, so we'll do it. Endless. No. Burnout 1 is actually Burnout 4 here. So we're going to skip that. Wow, we actually find it. Okay, so maybe this run is salvageable then. I believe it is actually possible. In the caves, we have, oh, Railforger's Hammer, which... lets me throw a second imp, interestingly. This most importantly lets me get the lady on this floor for ring 7 until I do the dupe. Yeah, we'll take it, alright. Draw a space relic is always nice. I feel like this gives me direction in a way that feels a little cozier. I was pretty at risk, I think. In my opinion, anyway. We have the Meows joining us for the moment. Enjoy Meow. Imperialist 3 for sure. We're gonna cut cards, of course. The question is which cards. They're all pretty rough. The primitive molds are pretty decent because they've saved us a bunch. Let's drop... what's the worst card in this deck? Probably Branding Right, if I'm being honest with you. It's just very hard to play. I'd rather play any of my old magics again. We'll get rid of Branding Right. Okay. And I think it is a Queen's Impling. Maybe it's a Primitive Mold. Do I need 4 of... Do I need 5 of them? I don't think I need 5 of them. We're going to drop a Primitive Mold then. Okay. Fine. I could Purge. I'm not going to yet. Plus 30. I could take it into Impelate. Since we've removed an Imp, it no longer crosses 100, but it's not that big of a deal. I could always cut it on ring 8 if I need to. We'll see. We'll see. I think we chill here and we move on. Good grief. What a tough run. This is pretty much... This is the deceptively difficult champion setup. Not just champion setup, but just Arduous and Arcana in general is very risky. Okay. We're going to definitely take Ember Drain here, so I need to be careful. This guy's 100% walking on me, but with Golden Volt, I think the 400 gold is worth this armor. This is fortunately not that terrifying of a combat. We go Shardtail Queen upstairs, pretty decent stats. I can click Lady Middle. I'm going to take Old Magic, and then I will just click the Dark Deal on her, and that's acceptable, I think. Alright. Welder Helper goes upstairs. I get to click the Important Work again, which is cool. We'll play it again, one more time. I will put Whiplash on her. Damages her friend. We lose some Ember Middle from Ember Drain. Unfortunate, but acceptable. We do get the Draft here, which is pretty cool. I do want the armor coming in, so we're going to play the Imp first, or rather Imp second. I take an extra Ember Drain for it, but I think it's acceptable. He's sweeping, isn't he? Alright, this guy's just going to walk on us and kind of crush. Ouch. That's 75 gold, but it could have been worse, right? Could have been way worse. We at least get to play the Imp here, which is a big deal in my opinion. I think I need to... With 60 damage coming in... Oh, the Vent actually changes this substantially. Go ahead and put the Imp in back then. True. And then we just play Vent. This guy has so much armor, Vent doesn't kill him? Excuse me, wait, what? That's illegal. Monster Train, that's illegal. How could you? Oh no. Oh no. I do get the Impelate upstairs, which is pretty excellent. I'm happy about that. We'll click it. Good card. Alright, throw the Imp. And then toss a Vent. Oh my goodness, we kill him. I don't know how that happened, but it did. This is a terrifying set of floors, so let's go ahead and Whiplash in the back. It's something. Welder Helper is mission critical. Wow. The Vent doing 30 does not do enough. We rolled so many horrifying light wings. It's actually ridiculous. I have to throw this or I'm literally throwing the run. The Vent does not clear it, shockingly. Let's click, I guess, the Waxen Spike then, and we'll just Vent Middle. Because we're... Oh, so much my armor is gone. Woof. Fortunately, this is a very easy boss, I think. So there's that. I get the Important Work, which is something. We'll play that back. I'm going to armor. I'm going to take armor here and then Vent. We actually kill this floor, which is impressive. Okay. Welder Helper, yes. Dark Deal. I don't think we touch the Vent here. It's not useful anymore. We skip this? Sure. Okay. Alright, well, we do win, which is better than I was hoping. And then we daze this man. I just wanted to throw imps, right? It's money, right? It's money back. Okay. Well, we managed to pull this off. We didn't take any damage because Golden Vault exists, which is cool. Impish Scholar is just Trap Shoot or Waxen Spike or Purifying Cleanse. Not bad. I actually think second Important Work might be just superior, though. Yeah, take that. It's really good to have resin removal. It's really good to have resin removal. I'll take that. Even though it's a tough card to play, we still do it. I go left. I'm going to look in the trinket shop, of course. I'm looking for imp stuff. Mold braces is not worth enough to me, unfortunately. Tempered talisman, melting spout. Lost luggage. Yeah, we're going to buy that at least. Something. Split anvil. How do I feel about split anvil? Very interesting. Could actually play my cards out, potentially. It's pretty decent. We get Queen's Tail. Good grief, yes. Now, I could have maybe looked at this guild marker first, but Queen's Tail is just so much better. It makes the imp free and redraws. It's better than improved Firebox here by a lot. Alright, cool. Great. Remove Consume. Yeah, I mean, Trap Shoot. Sure, remove Consume on that seems decent. The -1 here, Dark Deal, I guess? Sure, Dark Deal, I guess. A fine pick. A lot of things need it, so I don't really care that much. Take +10 into Purifying Cleanse. The non-consumed one. Holdover is interesting. I could hold over Trap Shoot and have a real fun time of it. It's actually pretty decent. Or we could hold over Important Work and generate even more armor. Holdover Trap Shoot's really solid, though, right? Actually, even at 2 cost, I'm happy to play this. True. We'll do that. This -1, thus, is going to go into an Important Work. I think so. Yeah, alright, cool. I can no longer afford Split Anvil. I'm not terribly mad about it. Although, that would have been funny. I could have held over a 2-cost Trap Shoot and made a bunch of 1-cost garbage free, I guess. It's not important. I'm going to go ahead and 20 consume the Mortal Entrapment. I play that once, and then we hold over Trap Shoot, and it's fine. Yes. Good, good, good. And the dupe here is the Giraffe, and we move on, and hopefully don't lose horribly. Alright, it's not the greatest imp run ever, but it's an imp run. Let's move on. The money that we keep is worthwhile, by the way, because Golden Vault exists. So that's 8 hits that I can just freely take. I will, of course, get more along the way. I don't like playing into him like this. I'm not a fan of that. We could instead play mid-floor. That's an option. Pretty good option, actually. We'll play mid-floor, I think. Yes, mid-floor. I can do this because of your friend Railforger Hammer. We go Lady downstairs. I'm going to go ahead and play a... I could let this guy walk for 25 gold and not rally the boss, which might matter. We're going to see. We clear bomb floor, which is actually pretty nice, huh? I could stop this guy by just hitting him with the Impalate. Oh, wow. We actually just hit on bottom floor on the Welder Helper here, which is pretty incredible. We'll play that. And then I'm going to just let this man walk on me now, and that's honestly super okay. Let's plan around the burnout line, so I put the burnout in front. Cool. Let that guy just walk, and that's okay. Come downstairs, bud. Excellent work. Go team. Cool. Alright. Dark Deal in. Excellent. Welder Helper dropped. Excellent. We get the old magic up front, and then I just daze the boss, and we're chilling. Excellent. Alright. It's doable. Now I just need to draw a vent, and we're chilling. Trap Shoot the boss, of course. We'll play the Welder Helper first. I'm going to go ahead and Important Work here. It lets me play the Welder Helper again. I then get to Purifying Cleanse something. And I vent to save 100 damage. Seems okay. Alright. Welder Helper in. Good to go. Trap Shoot the boss. Play another imp, I think. Seems okay. We'll get one in. And then we vent. Save this health. Pummel enemy. Okay. We get rid of the melee weakness too, which with very little cost or fanfare required, which is nice. We're going to drop this man off the floor first. Seems good. Then we're going to play second draft friend. Then we're going to drop in Welder Helper. Then we're going to Wax and Spike. Yes, then we're going to vent, and we should kill everything. Excellent work. A lot of rage generated. Looks like we're in a good place here. Yeah, this is, again... I could keep him on the floor, but I think I do want to just keep dropping him, actually. The important work. It's more important than any of these old magics. Then we vent. Cool. I'm good with this. Alright. Keep dropping the loser. Welder Helper. We play the Rage in the back. We play the Vent out. It's kind of perfect because I'm actually just taking the melee weakness hit from those front guys, which is pretty cool. We just hold over the daze here. You play the Imp. Resin removal is an option. I guess I can click it. Sure. And then we vent and we chill. Alright, we have the win. At least in this particular combat. This floor stands no chance of defeating me. It's true. Kill your own unit because it gives you gold. And gold is your friend. Cool, I take one hit and then we completely pummel here. The rage scaling gets out of control pretty quickly. Two of them at least makes the pace we need. Alright, patient down. I should be similar on Divinity, I think. So really the only challenge we had was a very dicey self-made Harpy combat that required a very finicky line to play through it. I don't think I ever would have caught that on the first round, having to play the random Wax and Spike for 7 burnout. It's just silly. We're going to Queen Zimpling here. Alright, then we play the Queen. Now, instead of actually playing the Lady of the House, what I'm going to do instead is straight up just Mortal Entrapment the Divinity immediately. And then we put the Wicklash on Short-Tail Queen. And then we vent downstairs and we chill. It's a lot of Ember to spend, but it actually feels pretty decent here. Yeah, and then we get to go Queen Zimpling, Draft, important work. Oh, and we just get to see our good friend there, which is great. And then we get Vent, which I'll play middle, which is fun. Cool. I would kind of like to, you know, yeah, I don't mind taking these hits upstairs. That seems okay. I do need to trap shoot the Divinity. That is just required. I need to Purifying Cleanse up front, I think. It's a lot of damage to take. I think I need to double vent here in middle. Yeah, let that walk through. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's okay. We at least push attacks through every turn. Now, it's as simple as Welder Helper, sacrifice Welder Helper, play him again. It's good. We'll throw a second Imp for good measure. Great. I get to go ahead and trap shoot the boss and stop a whole bunch of damage here. It is a lot of damage I'm stopping. It's worth saving 45 health here, I think. Yeah, alright, fine. Okay. Now, I might just take whatever this curse is here. Play that thing. Throw a second Imp. Daze the Divinity. Because reasons. I'm going to play out the Weight of Contrition. Because I don't want to redraw it. Then I'm going to Wax and Spike for nothing but Burnout, which is acceptable. And then we vent. And that's acceptable too, I suppose. We at least throw the Imps before we take the Spikes damage there, which is pretty decent, I think. So I'm not mad about that. I can play the Lady at long last. She's just going to die, but it's okay. Good luck, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and vent middle. I want to get rid of those things. All good. Top floor doesn't really threaten me in terms of damage input. Alright, then I want to double vent middle here. Trap shoot the boss. Dark Deal is your friend. We double vent middle 100%. I'm just going to leak this Vengeful Shard because I do not care. Oh no, 25 gold. That's fine. Alright, we should get pretty close to winning here, right? Yeah, if I drop the Dark Wings here, and then we play a lot of important work action, which I do think is worthwhile here, then we vent. Alright. We're winning in one turn, I think. And then here's what you do. You just immediately go and drop Mr. Spikesman. And it's super over, right? We have the win, 100%. This turn is as simple also as just we extend burnout on our friends, then we vent, and it's all damage comes through and kills the boss. Yeah, alright, good job. Cool, so this cleans up once we get past Ring 5. Ring 5, very dicey, as it turns out. Ring 4, also very dicey, as it turns out. That one was also very spicy. We had not cleaned up enough. We hadn't seen the multi-strike yet, but also, most importantly, we hadn't duped a lot of things yet. The deck was still in a very fledgling state. So we'll go into the run summary here. This is a tough expert challenge. I'm glad that we at least got the win. It wasn't as clean as I would like, but I'm not upset by that. And this is okay. The expert challenges completely upend the balance of the game. This is a more negative than positive expert challenge, and if you have to reset for it, don't feel bad. All right, we're not win streaking expert challenges here. Don't do that. That sounds like a terrible idea. The big takeaway, though, things that helped here, Queen did a great job. Honestly, Queen did excellent. Pretty much, honestly, a fairly weak Queen run, if I'm being just objective with you. The self-infused Welder Helper is good. It's nice. It's good survivability, sure, for Relentless, but this isn't winning any rewards, in my opinion. I'd rather have a Fledgling and pretty much any day of the week on this run, but I didn't see it, so it is what it is. Fortunately, we had the Welder Helper opener, which helped. The lady, she did something. She could have been an option. I'm glad we didn't overinvest early. I do think the Paraffin Enforcer infusion was mission critical, and I think that if you had overinvested into the lady early, you would have lost. So that is a good lesson learned as well. I think the net sum there is don't count your chickens until they've hatched. I think that's the proverb that applies. But yeah. Some other things to keep in mind here that you should always watch out for. Daze is your friend, even if it costs one more Ember than you'd like it to. Just accept the Ember cost that comes with playing cards, right? We take the Fell's Remorse and get over it. That did mean our mid-game was fairly weak, but I also think we needed to play this, or I don't know how in the world we were playing any of our stuff, right? +1 Ember to spells is such a huge double whammy because it means that your -1s do less, right? Each -1 you take does less. So getting a card to the state where it's actually contributing the way you want it to takes more. This Wicklash took 2 -1s. Not only is that 50 gold, right? And a whole shop spent on this, it's also not a -1 that went somewhere else. So huge Ember costs here. I think there was maybe some jank with that split anvil at the end you could maybe have come up with, but still. Anyway, let me be clear with you. I think Golden Vault saved this run on multiple occasions. I'm glad I took this with the Memorial Fund. This provided a lot of value. I also think, despite the fact that Old Magic kind of sucked, we didn't roll a good Old Magic. The fact that it gave 20 gold is enough. Especially with Golden Vault. That was money that carried through, that kept me able to shop, and also kept me able to take hits. So, fair enough. The eventual Dark Deal was also nice. I think maybe you could have done something here also, but it came a little late to form a stronger play out of it. I also don't think the holdover was ever correct there. I think it pretty much had to be on Vent. Or Vent early before we had the Dark Deal, but Trap Shoot later, right? I think this was the only reason we realistically had control over the end combats. Patient would have been pretty scary without this. I think you could maybe have gotten away with it, though, right? You could have gone Trap Shoot and then not 20 consumed the, where is it, Mortal Entrapment. And this is a hard card to play at 4 Ember. Very difficult. Fortunately, Queen's Tail lets us play the Imp and it at least. I could have put a -1 in it, I guess. Played it at 3. It's possible. It still basically prevents me from playing almost the entire rest of my hand. So, not ideal, in my opinion. And can you believe we didn't see a single -2 in this run to help offset any of these numbers? Completely ridiculous. So, an honestly bad roll for this run, and we still pulled it off because at least we had a good clan combo and we had the basics required to win. So, we'll take it. That brings us to 24? It's 24. There's only one more. Next episode will be the last one, assuming I win. If I lose that run, you might get a double whammy, but we'll see. Hopefully, hopefully the next one is the last one. It's been a fun run. I'm enjoying it. It's been nice to finally do this after however many months or years since I've been talking about it. So, anyway, not much else to add. Thanks so much for sticking with me through it, and yeah, I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.